Yeah, it's a little chilly. We'll get moving. All right, let's start with the ankles here. So legs extended, we're gonna bring the toes back towards the chest. And then point and flex. Nice, and then circles around with the ankles. We do both together. We can go opposites. Nice, release that one, and then we're gonna do supinate and pronate, so the sole of the foot in towards the center line and the pinky toe towards the shoulder. So it's back and forth. Nice, and then we'll finish off with windshield wipers. You can do side to side, or both in and both out. Excellent, and then release and shake it out. And then let's come up to the wrists. So we're gonna extend the arms out, tuck the thumbs under, wrap the fingers around the thumbs, and make circles with the wrists. Moving into the elbows and the shoulders. Excellent, release that. You can shake it out. We're gonna bring the palms together, interlace the fingers, and make figure eights. Excellent, pause for a moment. We're gonna pull the hands apart, switch which fingers on top. Excellent, and release that. You can shake that out if that's comfortable. And then let's go up to the neck. So sitting up nice and tall, take an inhale. On the exhale, chin drops down to the chest. Inhale, looking up. Exhale, bring it all the way back down. Inhale up. And exhale, back down. Nice, inhale up. And exhale all the way back down. Nice. Inhale back to neutral, and then we're going to do ear to shoulder. So exhale to the first side. Inhale, center. Exhale, second side. Inhale, back to center. Back to the exhale to the first side. Inhale, center. Exhale, second side. Nice. Inhale, center. One more time each side. Exhale to the first side. If you want, you can bring that same arm out and over. Resting that hand on the opposite side of the head, making space between the ear and shoulder. And then breathing into any tension that you're finding in the neck, the shoulder, the upper spine. Excellent. And then to come out, we're going to inhale, release the arm, head comes up to center. Exhale, bring the head to the other side. That arm can come out and over. Making space between the ear and shoulder. Breathing into any tension that you're finding. Inhale. And then with the exhale, release the tension. Excellent. Release. Inhale, head comes up and arm goes down. One more with the neck here, so we're gonna look straight ahead on the inhale. On the exhale, turning towards the shoulder. Inhale back to center. Exhale, second side. Inhale, center. Exhale back to the first side. Inhale, center. Exhale, second side. Nice. Inhale, center. One more time each side. Exhale to the first side. Inhale, center. Exhale, second side. Nice. Inhale back to center. All right, let's do the shoulders. We're going to inhale forward and up. Exhale down and back. And then reverse direction, inhale back and up, exhale down and forward. And then a couple more either direction or straight up and down. Nice. And release. All right, let's get into the spine. So if you're sitting cross-legged, you can bring your hands under the knees. If your legs are out in front, hands under the thighs. We'll start with our cat. So we'll exhale back to cat, tuck the chin and the tailbone. On the inhale, rounding up, looking up to cow. And then back and forth between the two. Moving with the breath. Excellent. And then coming back to center. Let's do our laterals. So we're going to bring one hand down to the floor. Inhale, we're going to bring this other arm up and over. Exhale, bring it back. Second side, inhale. And exhale. And then just back and forth between the two sides, moving nice and slow. Allowing the body and the spine to warm up. Excellent. And then let's do one more time each side. Excellent. And then back to center. All right, last one here is the twist. Inhale nice and tall. On the exhale, return to the first side. Inhale, center. Exhale, second side. Excellent. One more time each side. Nice. And then from here, we're going to bring, if they're not already, we're going to bring the legs out in front. And do a couple of forward folds here. If you want to pound the legs into the mat, wake them up a little bit. All right. And then we're going to use our friend gravity. Inhale, arms coming up. Exhale, folding forward. On the exhale, tap down. Inhale, bring it back up. Do a few of these. Excellent. We're going to do one more. As you come down, we're going to grab the legs wherever you reach. Pull the chest forward. Exhale. Wrap the spine. And relax the spine and the back of the legs. Excellent. And then when you're ready to come out, we're going to extend the arms over the legs, push the legs into the earth. Inhale, coming up, and then exhale and release. Nice. All right, so let's come up to hands and knees. All right, first order of business. Let's start with that cat and cow again. So we're going to exhale cat, shoulder blades go up towards the ceiling. This is our exhale. On the inhale, reverse the curve, looking towards the horizon. Exhale back to cat, pulling that belly button up with the exhale. And then back and forth between the two. Excellent. And then back to neutral. From here, we haven't done this in a while, let's do our spinal balance. So we're going to extend one leg back, opposite arm comes forward. Take a couple breaths here. Excellent, and release. And then going to the other side, extend the opposite leg and arm, keeping the breath going. Excellent, and then release. All right, we're gonna do cat-cow child's pose. And actually before that, we're gonna curl the toes under and send the hips back towards the heels. Nice sole of the foot stretch. And then come up. And then if you want, you can release the toes and pound the tops of the feet into the mat. If that feels okay. And then let's do cat-cow child's pose here. So we'll start with our exhale cat. Inhale cow. And then exhale cat down to child's pose. You can stay in the child's pose, or if you want, you can inhale, come back up to cow. Exhale cat down to child's. Let's do that one more round. Inhale coming up. Exhale cat down to child's pose. So we'll take a couple breaths here. Excellent. When you're ready to come up, we're going to come back up to tabletop and do one more set of poses. We'll do our gate pose. So we'll start with one foot comes out to the side. And we're going to take that same hand, inhale, bring it up towards the ceiling. Exhale, bring it back down. And again, inhale. And exhale. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Excellent. Okay, tuck that knee under. We're going to send the other foot out. And then that same hand goes up. Inhale, hand comes up towards the ceiling. Exhale, bring it back down. And again, inhale. And exhale. And one more time. Inhale. And exhale. Excellent. Okay, so tuck that knee under, and then we're going to come up to our high kneel. And then we're going to send one foot out again. Hand can be on that hip or down that leg. And then we're going to inhale, bring this opposite arm up. And then on the exhale, bring that hand towards the foot. Inhale, vertical. Exhale, over. Inhale, up. And one more time. Over. Inhale, vertical. And then exhale, release. So you can come down and switch legs, or do it while we're up top here. So hand on that hip or down the leg. Opposite arm comes up with the inhale. Exhale, hand towards the foot. Inhale, vertical. Exhale, over. Inhale, up. And one more time. Exhale, over. Inhale, up. And then exhale, down. So you can come down to come back up, or I'm going to walk my foot in front, curl the back toes, and then step it forward. All right, so if you have a blanket or anything out, you're going to move that out of the way. Holy cow. Woo. Are you getting messages? Okay.
Where do we go, in the basement?
Mhm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
This
Go down
is
to the
the
bar.
absolutely safest place in Naperville to be now. So
Downstairs.
we had 121 Y kids there last Monday.
Are we by the bar?
Yep.
Yeah, we are.
Let's go behind.
We in the bar.
We'll need it.
You can have Bloody Marys. You don't want me to do that. All right, so well, it's over at like 1, right? So just do yoga till 1 o'clock. Okay. So let's do some moving balance. We'll start with our palm tree pose. I'm gonna come over here. So we're just gonna go straight into it. We'll do arms and feet. Inhale up, exhale down. If you want to add on to it, you can lift the toes after you come back down. Excellent. Okay, let's do one more. Nice. All right. If you want, you can shake it out. And then let's do our other one, our flying crane Karate Kid. And let's do opposites. So arms out. We're going to lift one knee up, touch it with opposite hand, and back down. And then the other side. Excellent. Okay, one more time each side, or finish off evenly. It's open now. Okay. So let's do a mountain pose while we're being so easily distracted.
I don't need more wind.
Right. Yep, I hear your beeping. All right, so let's do our mountain pose, nice and tall. Lifting from the crown of the head, feet are rooted into the earth. Pull the shoulder blades towards each other or the collarbones away from each other on the front. Just nice, smooth, and soft breaths. Excellent. All right, so release that, shake it out. And let's come into warrior one next. All right, so we're gonna step 1 foot forward. That back foot turns out at a slight angle. And we wanna line up the knee with the second and third toe. So if you wanna look down and see that line, you can, and then look back a couple feet up or towards the horizon. So it's an exhale when we bend and inhale when we straighten. Excellent. All right, push off, step back, or step that back foot forward. We turn that foot out, second foot comes forward. And inhale, straight leg, exhale, bend. Excellent. All right, push off, step back. Or step the back foot forward. We'll go back to the first side and add the arms. And let's do cactus arms. All right, so here we go. So we're gonna inhale, bend at the elbows, bend that front knee, exhale back. Excellent. Let's do one more. Nice. All right. Step that foot back or step the other foot forward. Turn that foot out, move forward with the second side. And do cactus arms again, unless you prefer a different one. And then you can do that. All right, here we go. Inhale, bend the elbows and the front knee, exhale back. Excellent. One more. Nice. All right, step the feet back together. And let's see, let's do warrior two next. All right, so the front knee is over the ankle, hands at the heart, arms open out to the side. Gaze is over the forward fingers. Soften the shoulders, extend the fingers. Nice, and then let's do our two movements here. Side angle pose, forearm comes down to that front thigh. That back hand can be on the hip or that hand up towards the ceiling. Excellent, inhale, wheel around to peaceful warrior. And then exhale back to side angle pose. Inhale again, peaceful warrior. And one more time through side angle pose. And peaceful warrior. Nice, back to warrior two. And then we'll drop the arms and step the feet back together. Excellent. Shake it out. We'll switch sides. Knee over that ankle, hands at the heart, arms open out to the sides. Soften the shoulders, extend the fingers. Excellent. Bend that front elbow, side angle pose, forearm to the thigh. Back hand can be on the hip or that hand up towards the ceiling. Inhale around to peaceful warrior. And then exhale back to side angle pose. And inhale, peaceful warrior. And one more time through side angle pose. And inhale, peaceful warrior. Nice, back to warrior two. And then we'll drop the arms and step the feet back together. Excellent, shake it out. All right, let's do, we're gonna do cowboy and star. I'm gonna turn my back sideways. And big wide feet if you want. So you can go narrow edge of your mat or the wide edge of your mat. And then arms open out, fingers open. This is our inhale. And then on the exhale, we're gonna bend the knees, bend the elbows. If you want, you can bend the wrists. Excellent. Inhale, open back up to star. And exhale back down to horse. Nice. Inhale, open, star. And then exhale, back down to horse. Nice. One more. Inhale, open. And exhale, back down. Excellent. All right. Inhale up to release, exhale, and then step the feet together. All right, let's do, we're gonna do the standing six that we, standing six that we did seated. So we'll start with cat and cow. And bring the hands to the front of the thighs. Tuck the chin and the tailbone. This is our exhale cat. On the inhale, we're rounding up, looking up cow. Exhale back to cat. And just back and forth between the two. Spine might feel a bit more warmed up than when we first started. Excellent. All right, so back to neutral. And then we're gonna go a little wider with the feet for our lateral. And then we can have this hand on the hip or down that side. We're gonna inhale, bring this arm up and over, and then exhale, bring it back. Second side, inhale, and exhale. Excellent. One more time each side, or finish it off evenly. And we're going to do our twist. So arms can be where we like, straight out, closer to the body, anywhere in between. Inhale, nice and tall. On the exhale, we're going to turn to the first side. Inhale, center. Exhale, second side. Or if you prefer, you can just kind of ragdoll back and forth. Excellent. And then back to center. We'll set back to summer. That's Mother Nature. Okay. So let's come back to symmetrical with a half sun salutation. We're just gonna do the regular one. So hands start at the heart. We're gonna inhale, hands come down, arms come up, exhale, arms out to the side. We're hinging at that hip joint, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, the hands can come to the front of the legs. Exhale, fold forward, bend the knees, arms out to the side. Inhale, coming all the way up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. And again, inhale. And exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Arms out to the side, bend the knees. Inhale, coming all the way up. Palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. Let's go one last time. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Bend the knees, arms out to the side. Inhale, coming all the way up. Palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. Nice. All right, so let's do a tree pose, and then we'll see what we're doing after that. All right. So one foot gets rooted into the floor. We're going to do the heel above the ankle. And then we're going to check in with this hip nice and strong and tighten the muscles around that hip joint. Hands can come to the heart. And then we're going to grow our branches. So you can do power pose, index fingers extended towards the ceiling, a Y, a T. You can move your branches. If you have your balance and you want, you can bring that foot up higher. Just try and be even. So if you can do it on one side but not the other, try and stay at that same level. And then most important, and I always say it last, is keep breathing. Excellent. And then coming out nice and gracefully, shake it out. Let's do the other side. Root that second foot into the earth, heel above the ankle. Check in with this hip, nice and strong. Hands at the heart. We're going to grow our branches. Again, power pose, a Y, a T. Move in the arms. And most important, of course, breathing. If you have your balance and you want, you bring that foot up higher. If not, no worries. If you fall out, know that you can come right back in. Excellent. And then coming out nice and gracefully, shake it out. All right. Let's do the IT band stretch, and then we will come down to the floor. All right. So we're going to cross one leg over the other. And we're hinging at the hips again, or that hip joint. So we're going to inhale, nice and tall. Exhale, fold forward. That's totally fine. Excellent. All right, to come up, you're going to bring the hands to the sides, push the feet down, inhale, come up with a straight spine. Nice. And then we're going to uncross and shake it out. And then let's do the other side. And you may notice one side is slightly or significantly different than the other. It's just normal human Asymmetrical habits. All right, inhale nice and tall, exhale hinging at that hip joint, folding forward. Excellent, and then when you're ready to come up, hands to the hips, inhale, coming up with a straight spine. Nice, and then uncross, shake it out. And then let's come down to a squat if you want to. If you're working on your ankle mobility, I recommend a blanket or a towel. Put your heels on it. You can kind of turn the feet out at an angle, or they can be straight, whatever feels right in your body. So you can bring the elbows in between the knees to push them out wider. Take a couple breaths here. This is really good for digestion, ankle mobility, hip compression, knee flexibility. And then whenever you're ready, falling gracefully on the floor, because it's the only way I'm getting down. All right. So let's do our open and close twist. So we're going to extend the left leg out, right knee is bent, right foot on the floor, left arm over that left leg. On the inhale, we're going to extend the arm up, feel the whole spine stretch up with that arm. Exhale in front of or behind that right knee. Right hand comes behind the spine. Inhale, lift. Exhale, turn and look towards that back wall. Excellent. And then we're going to unwind. Left arm over that left leg again, gaze follows the thumb. Inhale, this is our open twist. Excellent, and then exhale, bring it back. We'll switch legs and switch arms. Right arm over that right leg. Inhale, lift, feel the whole spine extend with that right arm. Exhale, in front of or behind that left knee. The left hand comes behind the spine, pushing into the floor, lift. Exhale, turn and look towards that back wall. Excellent. We're going to unwind back to center, right arm over that right leg again. Gaze follows the thumb. Inhale, open twist. Excellent. We're going to exhale, bring that arm back. And then release that. Let's come on to the spine. So feet up at the top of the mat. Hands on the knees. We're going to roll down onto the flat of the back. And then let's start with one-legged Apanasana. So we're going to exhale, one knee comes into the chest. Inhale, foot back to the floor. And then other side. Exhale, knee in. Inhale, foot down. And just back and forth between the two. Excellent. Okay, release that. We're going to take the right foot, bring it up towards the ceiling, wrap the hands behind that right thigh. On the exhale, bring that leg in towards the chest. Inhale, release it out to neutral. Exhale in, inhale out. Nice. All right, one more. Exhale in, inhale out. And then you can bring the left arm out to the left side of the floor. We're going to drop the right leg out towards the right side of the floor. On the inhale, bring it back up to center. Exhale out to the side. Inhale, bring it up. And one more time. Exhale out. Inhale up. And then we're going to move the left leg out of the way. Right arm can come out to the side. And then we're going to cross the body with the right leg. Excellent. Let's bring that leg back up to center. Release that foot back down to the floor. And then let's bring that left foot up towards the ceiling. Hands behind that left thigh. Exhale, leg comes in. Inhale, leg goes out. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale, out. And one more time. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale, out. Right arm comes out to the side, and then we're going to drop that left leg out towards the left side of the floor. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, out. Inhale, up. And then moving the right leg out of the way, the left leg crosses the body towards the right side of the floor. That left arm can come out to the side. Excellent. On your next inhale, bring that leg back up. And bring both feet back into the mat. Both knees are bent. And we're going to do the supine pigeon, or upside down number 4. So the left foot or left ankle comes onto the top of that right thigh. And take the left hand and push that left knee out, kind of opening up that hip socket on the left side. And then we're going to do the compression part. So there's a couple of different options. You can stay right here if this is enough, or you can grab that right knee and pull it in, or send that right foot up towards the ceiling and then wrap the hands behind that right thigh. Excellent. All right, drop that right foot down to the mat. Left foot comes down, and then right foot or right ankle on that left thigh. Using that right hand, push that right knee away from the chest, opening up that hip socket a little bit. Nice. Release that, and then let's do the other part of this. So you can stay right here. You can pull the knee in, or extending that left foot up towards the ceiling, wrap the hands around behind that left thigh. Nice compression in that right hip socket. Excellent. All right, so release that foot, both feet down on the mat. And then let's do this one. So we're going to bring both knees up, hands on the knees. We're going to exhale, bring the knees in. On the inhale, arms up overhead, feet up towards the ceiling, and then point and flex the feet if you like. Exhale, bend the knees, hands to knees. Inhale, open, point and flex. Exhale, bend the knees, hands to knees. Inhale, open, point and flex. Exhale, bend the knees, hands to knees. And one more time. Inhale, open, point and flex. Exhale, bend the knees, hands to knees. All right, so from here, if you'd like, you can rock side to side. Some people will love it, some people hate it. If you don't like it, you can skip it. Excellent. All right, so both feet come down to the mat. We're going to center the left foot into the center of the mat and cross that right leg over the left. And then arms out to a T, and we're going to drop both knees over towards the left. And the head can look left center or right. Excellent. Inhale, both knees to center, keeping the legs crossed the same way, and then we're going to drop the knees over towards the right. And the head can look left, center, or right. Excellent. Inhale, both knees to center, uncross. Right foot comes to the center, left leg over the right, and then we're going to drop both knees to the left. Head can look left, center, or right. Excellent. Inhale, both knees to center. Exhale, drop both knees to the right, and the head can switch left, center, or right. Excellent. Inhale, both knees to center, uncross. And then let's bring both knees in for another round of Apanasana. Exhale, knees in. Inhale, knees out. Excellent. Okay, let's bring feet down to the mat and we'll do a round of ridge pose. Actually, we're going to do two. So we'll do arms and hips, and then we'll do the extra breath. All right. So lining up the knees, the heels, and the hip joints. Arms down by your side. You push the feet into the earth. Inhale, arms up, hips up. Exhale, arms down, hips down. And again, inhale, coming up. Exhale, back down. And one more time. Inhale, bring it up. And exhale, back down. Nice. All right, let's do another round with adding the extra breath. You're going to inhale, arms up, hips up. On the exhale, release just the hips. Take another inhale. Exhale, arms down by your sides. And again, inhale, arms up, hips up. Exhale, release just the hips. Take another inhale. Exhale, arms down by your sides. Nice. One last time. Inhale, arms up, hips up. On the exhale, release just the hips, nice and slow. Take another inhale. On the exhale, arms come down by your sides. Excellent. All right, let's do our last round of Apanasana. So I'm going to do wide leg. If there's a different version you prefer, that's fine. This one's nice for having a little extra space in that lower spine. Exhale, knees come in. Inhale, knees go out. Knees are wider than the hips. Excellent. All right, so we're gonna bring the feet back down to the mat, and then option to keep knees bent, feet in the mat, or extend the legs all the way straight out. We're gonna do our palm tree pose arms. So arms start down by your sides. Inhale, arms up overhead to the floor above you. Exhale, arms back down by your sides. Excellent. Finish the one you're on and do one more. And then let's do, we're gonna do banana asana here. So starting with bringing the arms back over the head, we're gonna walk both legs over towards the left and both arms over towards the left. You can stay here or cross the right ankle over the left and grab the right wrist with the left hand. And we're gonna take 3 breaths. First one into the rib cage. Inhale into that right rib cage. Exhale, release. Second breath, inhale from that right shoulder to that right hip. Exhale, hip to shoulder. Third breath, fingertips to toes. Inhale from the fingers all the way down that right side body. Exhale, toes to fingers. Next, we're gonna come back to center, give it a nice good morning stretch. Extending the fingertips and the heels away from each other. And then we're gonna walk the legs and the arms over towards the right. You can add to it by grabbing that left wrist with the right hand and crossing the left ankle over the right. 3 breaths on this side. First one into the ribs, inhale into that left rib cage. Exhale, release. Second breath, shoulder to hip, inhale, left shoulder to left hip. Exhale, hip to shoulder. Third breath, fingertips to toes, inhale on that, all the way down that left side body. Exhale, toes to fingers. Next, release. Coming back to center, give it one more good morning stretch. And then we'll get ready for our final relaxation pose. Releasing the legs and the feet away from each other. Maybe tuck the shoulder blades under and then arms come out away from the torso. Get any last little wiggles out. You can bend the knees, feet into the mat, or legs straight out, whatever's comfortable. And I'm gonna sit up so you can hear me better. And let's do a full body relaxation, walking up the body, relaxing each part as we go. Starting with the feet. Relax the toes. Relax the tops of the feet, the soles of the feet, and the heels. Release the ankles. Relax the calves and shins. Release the knees and the space behind the knees. Relax the tops of the thighs and the backs of the thighs. Let the pelvis be heavy and sink into the earth. Relax the abdomen. Release the rib cage and let go of breath. The shoulders be heavy and sink into the earth. Relax the upper arms, elbows, and lower arms. Release the wrists. Relax the hands, fingers, and palms. Relax the throat and the back of the neck. Release the jaw. Smooth the forehead and face. Let any last thoughts seep out the top of the crown of the head. Let the earth's gravity hold you. Let the air around you breathe you. Take the next few moments and just be. Gently coming back into awareness. Wiggle your toes. Wiggle your fingers. If you'd like, you can roll your head side to side. When you're ready, and with an inhale, rolling over onto your right or left side. When you're ready, and again with an inhale, pushing up to a comfortable seated position. And to bring breath back into the body and find us safely on our way, let's finish with, do sun breath number 2. It's this one, arms out in front, inhale, and then exhale. 3 times. Ready, here we go. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Again, inhale, open. Exhale, close. And one more time, inhale, open. And exhale, close. Palms together, hands to the heart, and namaste. Thanks, gang. All right, get home safe.